so much. Well, with the new year comes new attacks from hackers. In fact, experts warn ransomware will face epidemic levels this year, and that's why we have one of the country's top cybersecurity experts, Zohar Pinhasi. Did I get it right? Okay, yep. A cybersecurity expert and CEO of MonsterCloud, an IT security firm out of Hollywood. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Well, talk to us about this. What do we need to know about ransomware?
Okay, ransomware, first of all, is a type of virus that you can get either via email, but today those cyber criminals, and it's not your 12-year-old kid that sits in his bedroom, it's actually became organized crime. And what they do is they will attack businesses with poor security. They'll gain access to the network, and they'll lock every file that they have on the network. Servers, desktops, you name it. It starts with ransom, and it actually goes to blackmail, because if you don't pay, you're going to get threats to, if you don't pay, they'll publish your files out there. If you're in a medical field or those fields, this is pretty dangerous.
So we're seeing this affecting local businesses, hospitals, universities, local governments.
That is correct. It actually gotten to the point that banks are hoarding bitcoins, because that's pretty much how you pay those criminals to release the files. So we got into the point that our cybersecurity group checked it, and they saw that banks are hoarding bitcoins as part of their disaster recovery plan. In the event they would be able to release the files, because to actually get this amount of bitcoins, because usually they would ask 4 bitcoins, 5, but sometimes they would ask 250 bitcoins, which it equals to $250,000 to release your files.
For a layman person, what does this mean? Does this mean that our information can be hacked and potentially, given out to this hacker and released to the public or whoever wants to take advantage?
Yes, that is correct. And as far as protecting yourself, let's start with that.
Right.
The first thing, regardless if you're an individual or if you're a business, you have to make sure that you have the right backup. Once you have the right backup, if you get hit, you're able to recover from this nightmare, from this disaster.
Has this put a lot of local businesses out of business because of this?
Yes, absolutely. We get hundreds of calls a week to our cyber security group, because this is what they handle. We handle 24/7 only ransomware cases. We get at least 10 to 15 customers a week that we can't help them. They actually go out of business. Wow. Every file that they have in their company is completely gone, because those criminals, they'll hit your files and hit your backups as well.
And you were saying these are hackers that are not even in this country.
That is correct. That's why it's virtually impossible to get a hold of them. The FBI can't do anything. Wow. The police departments, they're pretty much out of it.
Hands are tied.
Yeah.
All right, so we're just going to show your website really quick. It is MonsterCloud.com. This is your site right here, obviously featured across the country as an expert in IT and cybersecurity. Thank you so much, Zohar, for joining us this morning, and we'll have more information on our website, CBS12.com.